The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
You want me to do it for you, rub it in?
Well, you do keep butting in, don't you?
Number 54. The house with the bamboo door. Bamboo roof and bamboo walls. They've even got a bamboo floor. You must get to know Soho Joe. He runs an espresso called the House of Bamboo. It's a made of sticks and bricks, but you can get your kicks in the House of Bamboo. In this casino, you can drink a Tino, and it's got to swing into the cha-cha. Dance the bolero in the sombrero, shake like a snake. You want to drop in when the cats are hopping. Let your 2 feet move it to the big beat. Pick yourself a kitten and listen to the patter that rocks the jukebox. I'm telling you, when you're blue, well, there's a lot to do in the House of Bamboo. Oh, Willie Roy! You must get to know Soho Joe. He runs an espresso called the House of Bamboo. In this casino, you can drink a Chino. Let your 2 feet move it to the big beat. Make yourself a kitten and listen to a patter that rocks. I'm telling you, when you're blue, well, there's a lot to do in the House of Bamboo. Do a poo-poo. Number 54.
Here we go.
The house with the bamboo door.
Gonna be some show tonight, guys.
Bamboo roof and bamboo walls. They've even got a bamboo floor.
I don't know if a bamboo house is a sustainable living environment. If that wolf comes along, he's going to blow you right off.
Ah, but they're hollow, so it'd be like playing the panpipes.
Okay.
Walls. They've even got a bamboo floor in the House of Bamboo.
Welcome to the House of Bamboo. Tonight we are offering shellfish for half price. The shellfish is a week over date, but it's still tasty. Good evening, dear listener. The Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 o'clock here on Talk Radio. My name is Iain Lee. Who are you?
My name is Catherine Boyle.
You're not here tomorrow?
Nope.
So while the cat's away, the mice are going to be running all over the shop. It's going to be a naughty show. You're welcome to call in about absolutely anything. If you're waiting for a big question, if you're waiting for the talking point this hour, if you're waiting for the question about Brexit, there isn't going to be any of that. Catherine and I will sit here and we will chat about our day and about some of the stories that we've kind of found online, and maybe a little bit of philosophy, maybe a little bit of esoteric nonsense, quite likely a significant amount of esoteric nonsense. And you are welcome to join us at any moment by picking up the telephone and calling 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000. And you can talk about the stuff that we're talking about. You can talk about stuff you want to talk about. You can talk about stuff from like 3 years ago. Maybe you've just discovered the podcasts. And there's something we mentioned 3 years ago. All of the topics stay open. All of the topics stay open. What was the word that woman made up last night? I keep forgetting.
Joviable?
Joviable. It's a joviable show, guys. If you want to carry on, man alive. The abuse. I muted a lot of accounts yesterday because of this whole Jackson thing. I muted a lot of accounts. Blocked a few people and muted a few accounts, and some I did. When I woke up this morning, the amount of abuse I'd had from people who like someone, that they're big fans of someone who may or may not be a paedophile, but certainly was a very, very overrated pop star. Thriller was pony. I'm going to say it. Thriller was pony. Bad was awful. Black and white. Jeez. Ay, ay, ay. But some of the language, calling me an MF, calling me a C, all kinds of things. And again, a lot of it some of it was directed at you as well, Catherine.
Yeah.
Because you were disappointed that some people weren't using their real names. Why does the lady want our real names? Is she going to stalk us? No, I do genuinely think this, and I know some people will argue, and you're welcome to argue, but I do genuinely think if you're going to be an arsehole on Twitter, or online, online, do use your real name.
Well, here's what I think.
Go on.
If you're not going to be an arsehole on Twitter, why aren't you using your real name?
Yep, there we go.
Stand by what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or is it that you're afraid of repercussions? If so, don't say it.
Yeah, and there'll be some people who will go, well, it's our right to not use it. Yeah, well, it is.
It's my right to not take you as seriously.
Yeah,
then.
Exactly. I just think if you're not using your real name, then I kind of lose a significant amount of respect for you. But also the abusiveness about the whole Michael Jackson thing. I don't want to say I'm fairly open-minded. I'm definitely coming down on the side that I believe those two men. But I have said this, and people seem to be ignoring this bit. If the film can be blown out of the water, like 100% blown out of the water, no, 85% blown out of the water, you're never going to get 100%, then I'll apologise, definitely. But at the moment, I believe them. And a lot of what is getting my back up so much is people's attitudes towards victims of child rape, that they would remember everything. And it's just not true. You just don't remember. Well, maybe some people do. Maybe some people do remember everything, but some people don't. So anyway, if you want to call in about that, you can. 0344 499 1000. I understand a lot of you are kind of bored of that, but you know what? Tough. Go and do your own radio shows. If you're bored of it, go and do your own radio shows. Oh, I have to... Can we get Jack back, please? I have to tell you, I started listening to the new John Ronson...
So did I.
Last Days of August. Started listening to that today. It's been up for a while. You have to pay for it. Of course, all, as we know, all entertainment should be free these days. Why on earth should artists be paid? Well, it is now available for free. If you go and look for The Last Days of August, it's free. It's about the death, the suicide of a young porn actress. And I'm on episode 3, and it's great. It's an incredible story. A lot of Twitter involvement is in it, and I think I'm about to dive into more Twitter. And also, John Ronson is... he's a master storyteller. He's doing some shows over here, isn't he? I wonder if we could meet up with him and record a little thing. I'll send him a little message. I don't like... The thing is, I know if I send him a message, he'll probably say yes. And I do wonder if he's probably saying yes just because he's a nice guy that finds it difficult to say no.
Put that to him.
I will put that to him. I will put that to him. I've just sent him a couple of records, so maybe he should say yes. No, I'm joking. But when we went to New York, he very kindly invited us to his luxury, swanky apartment on the east side or the west side, or uptown, midtown, I don't know where it was.
And he let me stroke his dogs.
It's not a euphemism. But we haven't got tickets to go and see John Ronson. We should look at the dates, actually.
We saw him last time he was over.
We did see him. I love him. He's such a great storyteller, and his producer is amazing at putting it all together. That's where the magic is in recording these things, I think. But he's just such a great storyteller.
And you can completely see when you listen to him and the way he sits back and lets the interviewee feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They don't feel pressurised, but he gets right to the heart of things, and I'm sure they tell him things that they weren't setting out to tell him in the first place, but it's so good. I tweeted this morning that I'd been looking forward to it, and then I took it down because felt a little bit obscene saying I was looking forward to something about really sad death.
I know what you mean, but I know what you mean. But I think it's okay to say no. Hey, here's a first. We've got some calls coming in, and we'll go to Jack and Noel and James in a bit. Here's the thing. We started watching the Mötley Crüe biopic. I want to call it a biopic, but apparently it's biopic. The Dirt, which is on Netflix. And everyone's been raving about it because it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
As I approach my
Twilight years.
47th year. So I approach my 47th year, and that means I'll be 46. I'm just actually saying it properly, so screw you, dear listener. As I approach my 47th year, I'm getting bored of... And all I read are autobiographies and biographies. It's all I read. Okay, it's all I read. I don't read fiction, and I very rarely do I read fiction. It's all autobiographies and biographies, primarily about rock stars. As I'm approaching my 47th year, which means I'll be 46, I am finding myself getting very, very bored of... No sneeze?
No, held it in.
Okay, well done. Well, okay, that's great. Of stories about snorting cocaine off of, groupies' breasts, and I'm getting bored of those things. And we watched the first 10 minutes of this Mötley Crüe thing, and I went, I just don't fancy it. I just don't think I can go down another rabbit hole. I mean, I've read the book, The Dirt. I read that years ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And it is, it's obnoxious. I haven't read it for about 15 years. Someone listening who has The Dirt, the book by Mötley Crüe, could you phone up and read very carefully the first paragraph? Oh. If I remember it correctly, it's the most obscene... I don't think there's bad language, but it's the most obscene first paragraph. Now, when I read this 15 years ago, I thought, this is going to be a good book. And now I'm thinking about it and thinking, oh, geez. In fact, it makes sense with the clip we saw in the film. It does actually tie in with the clip we saw in the film. It does. They've got it in there. So this is a very specific request. Have you got the book of Mötley Crüe's autobiography, The Dirt? Could you phone up and read... we'll play some appropriate music underneath it. Phone up and read, I think it's the first paragraph. It's the most shocking... No, it's the most deliberately provocative and outrageous first paragraph of any book I've ever read. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Noel and Tyrone and possibly you, dear listener. The Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10... on Talk Radio.
Take a trip into the alternate reality of late night radio.
I think I'm in something like the Matrix, and so are you.
The Late Night Alternative.
Hello.
With Iain Lee.
Is there anybody out there?
On Talk Radio.
Hello.
0344 499 1000. Let's do this. Let's go to Tyrone. Good evening, Tyrone.
Yes, my G. Can you hear me, yeah?
Yes, we can. Your voices are... let's just say we can always hear the root voice when you do a voice.
Oh, no. I think it's because you saw my number, innit?
No, I didn't. I didn't see your number. Your voices are rubbish. Every time you do a voice, you're kind of... you're like 2 degrees off your original voice, my G. But let's carry on.
Well, in that case, the whole call I was going to do is sort of being preemptively distracted, you get me? So
OK, we'll say goodbye then. Let's go to Noel Taylor. Good evening, Noel.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath.
I came up with an invention that I'd like your help on.
Yes, certainly I'll help you.
It's called Wi-Fi. Now, what it is, you have a box plugged into your phone socket like Wi-Fi, and this emits invisible... rays all through the house. And if a fly or a wasp, but not bees, I've updated it, flies into the range of the Wi-Fi signal, they die.
It destroys it. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So I've invented that. What's the next... As you're a famous inventor, Noel, what's the next step?
Well, the next step is a Paradise Earth full stop.
Okay, well, what's the next... step for my invention?
Well, is it a theory? Would you say it's a theory?
No, it's an invention.
Right. You've actually... okay.
You're seeing the flaw in your own... You're starting to see the flaw in your own arguments now, aren't you?
No, patent it, Ian.
Okay.
Yeah, simple as that.
Simple as that.
I've got a letter here that I wrote to Donald Trump, Ian. today.
Yes. Okay.
And it's. Can I read it out?
Please do. Yeah, I'd love to. Let's get some. Hang on a minute. Okay.
Bedding.
Yeah, let's get some bed. Let's get some bedding in. Let's get some bedding in.
Bed.
All right. Let's. Okay. Here we go. Let's hear your letter to the Prime Minister of America, Mr. Donald Trump.
Right. A paradise Earth will be made by two means. A paradise Earth in the deserts will be made by everybody in the world donating their urine and excrement.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Stop this. This is. We're doing this wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've had a week off and I'm not quite up to speed. Hang on a second.
No need to apologise.
Let's call someone in America who can actually make this a possibility. I'm just going to dial a number. Stay there. There we go. 7440. Just stay there, Noel. 0344 499 1000.
Thank you for calling National Restaurants. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time.
I don't know it.
For the operator, press 0.
Okay.
For the dial by name directory, press...
Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, because we need to... they won't let us dial a number. Okay, 001 212. We need someone who can help us, and the only person I can think of are Americans.
Okay, Ian.
Here we go. Why's it got a British ringtone? I'm dialing New York City. When they answer, you just go straight into it, okay?
Okay.
There we go. If they answer. No wonder America's being overtaken by China. They can't even bother to answer the phone.
Is it automated?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. Come on.
Forget that, Ian. Let me just read it out.
No. We will not Shut up. We will not forget it. This is important. 001. We go to 212. 423. Hiya. We will not forget this, Noel. A, because it's important.
Verizon's voice messaging survey.
Sweet Lord. It's important, but also it's, we haven't got any other callers, so it really is, it's integral that we do this, just to fill time. Right, we try one more. 001 212 39. Here we go. This is it. I'm feeling...
We're sorry. The party you are trying to reach is not accepting calls from private...
Do you know what I think?
Yeah?
FBI have already clocked us.
Oh, do you reckon?
Mm-hmm.
What makes you say that, Catherine?
They can't handle the truth. We know this thing. We know that those guys can't handle the truth. They think that we don't want to weaponise Noel Taylor.
I think... we certainly don't want to do that. Since Julian Assange, has been out of prison, things have got a little bit weird.
Tight.
There we go. This is it. This is the one. This is it. You're listening to Late Night...
Thank you for calling 50 Street Applebee's. How can I help you?
Hi there. We're calling from the United Kingdom. We're live on Talk Radio. I don't know why I'm doing an American accent. I'm British. We've got a friend who's got a very important message for you. Noel, away you go.
A paradise Earth will be made by two means. Hello. A paradise Earth will be made by two means. A paradise Earth in the deserts will be made by everybody in the world donating their urine and excrement, also the water saved from not flushing toilets. The urine and excrement will be mixed with sand to grow plants. Once plantations are established, it will rain more. A paradise Earth in the rest of the world will be created by putting mirrors in certain locations on the light side of the moon. This is so that many nations, such as Poland and Great Britain, will receive more sunshine. This will be achieved by having a flying saucer that can travel faster than the speed of light by having swirling high-powered laser beams on its outer edge and an electric-magnetic core on the inside of the spacecraft feeding off the planet's magnetic pull. Thank you. Goodbye.
Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
No, not you. Shut up. I know it did. You read it. Talking to the young lady who answered. Hello? She hung up. No.
Oh.
Thanks a lot for your help there, mate. Let's take one more call, Catherine, then you and I need to have a long, serious chat.
I look forward to that.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to David. Good evening, David.
Hello.
Hello, David.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I can barely hear you. Are you actually on the telephone, or...?
I'm actually on the telephone.
Are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm not. I think my phone's nearly had it.
Okay.
How are you this evening?
None of your business. What you got?
I just my brother called in yesterday.
Right.
My brother Chris. He was 100 days yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to say congratulations.
Why didn't you phone him up?
I speak to him every day now.
Well, then why are you telling us?
Because I'm a fan of yours as well.
Okay.
I'm also in recovery.
Well done. Good work.
So I'm nearly 7 months clean.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I've been on...
You think with all the money you weren't spending on gear, you could buy a decent phone now? This sounds awful.
I know. I don't know. Everyone says that, but it's.
They're telling you the truth, brother. They're telling you the truth.
All right. Well,
go on. What you got, David?
Well, literally, I've been doing home improvements this week. So I spent a lot of money on the house.
Okay.
But it's
show off
as well. Yeah, well, no, it's just it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
As you know, when
what have you called him for? What have you called him for, David? I don't care about your home improvements. What do you want?
You don't know about his home improvements. He might have built a slide instead of stairs.
That's not a bad idea, actually, is it?
We just use a mattress.
Okay.
And, last time we did that, though, my missus broke her coccyx.
Oh, you don't want that.
No, we don't want that. But, I've been doing home improvements while the kids have been on half term.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
It is, but I think I am crazy.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that.
Okay. Please get to the point of this call, otherwise I'm going to start using again.
No, you won't, Ian. Can't blame me for that.
What does this man want, Catherine? What does he want?
Remember the first agreement.
Yeah, shout at idiots. David, what do you want, man?
I just wanted to talk to you, Ian.
About what?
about anything.
Home improvements?
No, not about home improvements. About children.
Okay, go on then. They're a pain in the bum, aren't they?
Sometimes, especially when you're doing home improvements there.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for that call, David. I really appreciate that.
I think you might have been doing some home improvements. Good.
I've just muted another Michael Jackson fan. Someone's telling me that Steve Allen has been getting hard for me again on radio. What's going on?
If only those MJ fans would talk to the man in the mirror instead of boring us.
Hey, James! Big up yourself, James.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right, thank you, James.
I have the dirt.
Oh, here we go. Right, now, can you tell me, what year was the dirt published, please?
Oh, now you're testing me. Hold on.
It will say in the front of the book, mate. The bit that you guys don't read, but the bit that I read whenever I buy a second-hand book, the biography, I read it, and if it's like 10 years or more, I go, well, a lot will have happened in the last 10 years, so I'm not spending $2.99 on this.
God, you really are a fascinating man.
No, I am. I read what year the book... I read what year?
It was 2002.
Okay, so I could have read it... All right, 15 years ago. Now,
how much will have changed since then, Ian?
Well, when I read it, it was thick, and this first paragraph will not have changed. Now, James... Hey, why haven't you been at our last few shows?
I was going to apologise for that. No, everything.
This guy comes to all of our shows. He wasn't the last two.
He's had enough.
He's bored, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bored. I'm not. No. I've been double booked twice. The first was with a Christian progressive rock band called Neil Morse, and the second one was with Maggie Smith. And I'm so sorry that I've
either of those.
He doesn't want to go to hell or miss Maggie Smith.
All right, we'll let you off. Right, here we go. So this is...
I don't know how long.
Just watch the language. Yeah. This is the opening paragraph of the Mötley Crüe autobiography, The Dirt. Away you go.
Chapter 1. Vince. Often concerning the first house, wherein Tommy is caught with his knickers down and his baubles in a hole. Nikki is set on fire to the eminent displeasure of the carpet. Vince covets narcotics on the person of David Lee Roth, and Mick maintains a righteous and bemused distance. Her name was Bullwinkle. We called her that because she had a face like a moose. But Tommy, even though he could get any girl he wanted on the Sunset Strip, would not break up with her. He loved her and wanted to marry her. He kept telling us because she could spray her cum across the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first paragraph.
Who's going to clean that up?
The first paragraph of The Dirt by Mötley Crüe. It really is. Now, 15 years ago, James, when I read that, I'm going, oh, this will be a good book. And now I'm thinking, oh, boys. Oh,
exactly
boys.
The same. It sounded so glamorous at the time
Didn't
when
it?
I first read it, because I was younger and more silly. And now I've worked in retail, now I've worked in other places. I just think when someone chucks a TV against the wall or something, someone's got to clear that up.
Here's the thing I worked this out about 15, 20 years ago, right? And I've said this, and I bought into the myth for a long time. I read all the books and saw all the films and stuff, and then, like, 20 years ago, it clicked. I bet Keith Moon was the biggest pain in the backside. I bet he was so annoying. All those stories, there's like stories of him, you know, I don't know if he actually drove the car into the swimming pool, that may be a myth, but chucking the TVs out. There's a story about him being in a hotel with Harry Nilsson on, like, the 23rd floor, and they, after a while, they're all getting high, and they go, well, where's Keith? Where's Keith? And Keith has climbed out on the balcony, and he's walked round to the next room on the window. And at the time, you're reading it going, well, this is fun. This is fun. Actually, I bet it was a nightmare. He must have been an absolute nightmare. You know, Keith Moon killed a man as well. Keith Moon, I think I've got this right, James. You may know better than I. I think Keith Moon killed his driver. I think I've got that right. He was at some, like, event off his face, and he was getting hassled, so he kind of jumped into his Rolls Royce and ran over his driver and dragged him along the road and killed him. Now, that's not a fun story. That's not a fun story.
But Vince Neil, the singer in Mötley Crüe, he kills someone in the film as well, and it's not cool. It's not cool, guys.
Let's just say this once and for all: killing people is not cool. Am I right as well? Because someone reminded me, and I'd kind of forgotten this, but it makes sense. That in the book, and I don't know if it's in the film, in the book, two of them rape a woman.
I can't remember. I'm going by the film, which I saw much more recently. Yeah. But I mean, a lot of it was kind of rape anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not cool. And have you got to the ambulance scene in the film yet?
No,
that's where it gets super ridiculous.
Well, we got 10 minutes in, and I just said to Kath, you know what? I at this period in my life, and who knows, I might go back the other way, but at this period in my life, boring rock. I mean, Mötley Crüe, they're a lousy band anyway. It's not as if they're a great band. They're a lousy, stinking band anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, at this point in my life, watching, you know, people snort cocaine off boobs, and I mean, that's the least of the things they get up to.
No, I was just distracted by the terrible wigs, as I always am in these kind of made-for-TV type movies.
You know, all the technology we've got, right? When are they going to make a convincing fake beard? A convincing fake beard for an actor in a TV movie? It just doesn't exist.
Could they grow one? I mean, they gave us a warning.
Well, because you can't do that, Catherine, because you film things out of sequence. A fake beard, it's all you need. Some people can't grow beards. Julian Assange, 7 years. Have you seen his beard?
Yeah.
It doesn't join. It doesn't join.
I think he's doing that on purpose.
There's massive gaps. He's been growing that for years. It doesn't grow properly, James.
But you have to get to the ambulance scene where... So Nikki Sixx has taken an overdose, right? Yeah. Just fast forward it to this bit. Yeah. He's taken an overdose. The ambulance guys take him into the ambulance, and one of the paramedics goes to the other one. We can't let him die. This is Nikki effing Sixx. Did that happen?
I have come to the conclusion, we say this a lot, right, that I don't like things that everybody else likes. Not to be contrary, not to be obtuse, just there's something genetically about me that I watch something and I don't like it, and then I find out it's immensely popular. Afterlife, I thought it was a load of old rubbish, right? And loads of people have been recommending to me The Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Like, loads of people. Sam, who works here, a good friend of mine, loads of people said, oh, you'll like The Umbrella Academy, right? And I watched the first 20 minutes, and I just went, this is rubbish. This is rubbish. It's cheap. A lot of the Netflix stuff, it's got a glossy sheen, but actually it looks a little bit cheap. And I just thought, this is terrible. What's happening to me, James? There's no good entertainment out there for me anymore.
Even Game of Thrones I've given up on.
Oh no,
it was too much of a wait. And Mick Mars in the dirt is what's his face, Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones.
Here's something. So, apparently this is a meme to say this, but you know what? I couldn't give a stuff. I've never seen Game of Thrones. It just boobs and dragons just doesn't appeal to me at all.
It's crap. It's total crap.
No, it's not. You're wrong. But fine, carry on. You can think what you want.
Okay,
I'm cool with that.
Well, I've not seen it, so I don't know if it's crap or not. I don't know. But I don't care. It's never. And I've seen 4 episodes of The Wire, and I didn't like it. I watched 4 episodes of The Sopranos and didn't like it. I think most things are crap.
You don't have to like anything.
No, you don't. As my new mantra, James, we are all filling time until we die. It's all we're doing is we're just filling time until we die. Go on.
What I do like is The Rabbit Hole, and I do watch it religiously, and I will be at the next one.
Oh, James, where is the next one, James?
Is it in London or is it?
Thanks very much, James. We won't see you at the next one then. What a hashtag fake fan. We won't be seeing that guy at the next one. The next one's in Manchester.
Don't tell him.
IanLee.com/event. If you want Luton sold out, Brighton sold out, first Manchester show is sold out. We've got a few tickets left for the second one. Glasgow is sold out. Still debating whether we had a second Glasgow show, but I'm kind of erring on the side of not. We've got a third of the tickets left for London in June, and we've got 109 tickets left for the one in Shaftesbury in July, but that's ages away, and I'm not bothered about that. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Catherine Boyle and Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The radio show where the owls are not what they seem.
Do you or have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
We could be dreaming and meeting each other in our dreams.
On Talk Radio.
A few people asking about membership cards. I think they tried to deliver them to me today. They're going to get delivered. It was Yodel, and they screwed up. So they're going to come on Saturday, hopefully. So we'll do the I've got the laminator. The laminator. I've got a laminator. I've got some wallets. And hopefully I'll have the membership cards Monday. Monday night is the great membership card giveaway. They will be numbered by Catherine and signed by both of us. You could have a place in late night... What's the show called? Late Night Alternative History. You could. Also, the transcript book. Catherine, you were going to send me over everything you had.
Yeah.
No rush, but this weekend will be awesome. If I had it by this weekend, I could kind of then sort of see what we've got and see how much we've got and see what is missing. Could you do that?
You got it.
Would that be possible? Mm-hmm. Thank you very much indeed. So that's still happening. Hey guys, listen, we're doing these things for free. You know, this is like bonus stuff, and we know that you've contributed a lot. We've asked some of you have submitted transcripts of bits of the show, and we are going to collect them in a book. We're going to sell it. You know, we get a few quid. All the money goes to the Samaritans. I think we agreed for this one. We may turn it into a theatrical event. And it's, you know, these things take a while. But if you send it over to me for this weekend, I'll have a look. I'll see what we've got, see how far off we are. I suspect we're some way off, and we'll see what happens next. 0344 499 1000. Phone in about anything you want. Catherine, what have you got for us tonight?
Sexy dolphin news.
Here we go.
When was it that you first realised that animals were sexual beings? For me, it was a shocking awakening.
Was it the dog's pink lipstick?
Yeah, a dog jumped on my back and was riding me hard.
Oh,
and all the grown-ups were laughing about it.
Yeah.
The dog appropriately named Blue.
Okay. Been trained to do that. A horn dog. Literal horn dog.
I still feel a little bit embarrassed when I think about that.
Oh, the worst thing is when you go to someone's house and they've got a big dog that's at crotch level. You sit down and they just start sniffing your balls. I'll just push him away, and you should push quite hard. But they've got strong necks, so you're pushing quite hard. And he's just sniffing your balls. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about him. He does that to everyone. Yeah, I don't like my balls being sniffed by someone who isn't my partner. I don't want your dog sniff it. It's the worst thing. I think, you know, when like a dog attacks a child and bites them, the dog gets destroyed instantly, right? Instantly, no questions asked. I think if a dog sniffs your balls and after one push away, it comes back, put them down. Put them down. That dog is disgusting, and it shouldn't be allowed. Should not be allowed. It's just what I think, guys.
Anyway, dolphins apparently as well.
Oh, they love giving it.
They are
large.
They are very sexual. So I'm going to use a word now that some of you men won't be familiar with, but some of you women wish they were.
Orgasm.
Catherine Ellen Foley writes that the complex clitorises of dolphins are keys to understanding their sex lives.
Oh, yeah.
Although these preliminary findings don't definitively prove that dolphin reproduction can also be for pleasure, they do add evidence to the argument that for dolphins, sex isn't entirely about reproduction. Sex can serve several different functions: social learning, establishing dominant hierarchies, says Orbach. Male calves frequently mate with their mothers. And a lot of the dolphin mating we see in the wild is homosexual, she says.
Oh, that's unnatural. Those dirty dolphins. That's because it's been thrust down their throats when they're in school.
Good one.
They travel in schools. It's quite clever. It's cleverer than I thought it was.
She says it could be males establishing who's the leader in the group. I think she's a homophobe. I think they're born that way.
Yes.
Before Orbach and
Brennan... these Muslim parents in Birmingham protesting against it. It's not natural. And they are right. It's not natural. And the gay dolphins prove it's not natural.
Before Orbach and Brennan submit the study to a peer-reviewed journal, they're waiting to find a few more dolphins that died of natural causes to add to their sample size.
You know dolphins can commit suicide?
Yeah, don't they just stop breathing?
Yeah, dolphins, I think they do, yeah. I'm not sure how they do it, actually, but dolphins can kill themselves.
It's a bit like in Splash, Daryl Hannah gets fed up, doesn't she? She just sits at the bottom of the tank.
Yeah.
They do that.
It's exactly the same as Daryl Hannah in Splash. Who played the dolphin lady, what do they call it, a whale mermaid? Who played the mermaid in Splash 2? Because there was a sequel, but it wasn't her or Hanks.
They never are they?
It was another person. They're making a Grease prequel.
No need. Well, Did you see Grease 2?
Yeah, Maxwell Caulfield.
Bloody awful.
Here's the thing, though, right? A Grease prequel. All these prequels are rubbish. You know you're going to see the bit that Summer Nights is based on. You're going to see that scene where it's just you put up a fight. We're going to see that. No.
Also, Grease is quite problematic now.
It's very problematic. But here's the thing, right? No, retrospective prequels, as all prequels are pointless. For example, the Han Solo prequel movie, right? No, we learned everything we needed to know about Han Solo in the first Star Wars. We knew that he was a bandit and that he'd done that fast run, and that's all we needed to know. We didn't need to know anything else. We didn't need to see those things.
And I know they talk about, well, they want to reach out to a new audience, but are you saying to me that a new audience won't understand that someone was young once and now they're not, but it's still a good film, and actually it doesn't matter that you can't follow him on Insta because he's not on it because he's too old?
Yeah.
They don't need a new film. The old one was fine.
No films. By the way, Iain Lee from Talk Radio blocked me and has started deleting his poorly informed tweets about Michael Jackson. He couldn't handle the facts. Funny how these outspoken pundits hate their echo chamber being disrupted. No. I delete my tweets quite a lot, and I'm aware that when I do it, people go, he's deleted, couldn't stand by it, coward. You delete. I delete them quite a lot, as anyone who follows me regularly will know. I use an app called Tweet Delete. It's brilliant. I just like having a tidy timeline, and I block you because you were a dick. Gratian Dimech, Gratiandimech. When people are rude to me, I'm going to say who they are now because I think But what was it? Oh, I tell you why. I was listening to James O'Brien this morning, and he had Sadiq Khan in. It's always I like. When he has Sadiq Khan in, because they obviously hate each other. Mm-hmm. Very, very tense. Very tense. And what was great was people were tweeting in racist abuse to Sadiq Khan and that he should die and stuff like that.
Wow.
But what James was doing was giving out their Twitter handle and spelling it. And I thought that was great because the kind of perceived wisdom is that you don't. You just say, we've got a tweet here from Steve and say, no, if someone's being obnoxious and offensive, then shine light on them and their name. Not so that everyone attacks them. Maybe people will go and attack them. But if someone is being aggressive, offensive and obnoxious, and that tweet there wasn't actually that obnoxious, but I have had some, then, yeah, I'll say it, and I'll say who sent it to draw attention to it.
That's always been my policy if someone is pervy online,
yeah,
to me, because it's not my secret to keep.
Yeah.
To me, it's like someone, harassing me on a train. I would hope on a train I would call it out too.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not keeping your little secret. If that's what you're going to put on there, you can stand by it.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, that's fine. Go on, carry on with this, and we're going to go to
that's the
Alan.
end of the story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So a dolphin clitoris key is being invented on the web.
They've got complex clitori.
Okay. Well, speaking of the clitorati, let's go to Alan Caddick. Good evening, Alan.
Hiya, Mark.
Hello, Alan.
I got some bad news.
Who's died?
No one's died, but my mum's not well.
Oh.
COPD.
She OD'd?
No, COPD.
What's that?
It's to do with the brain.
Chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Well, was she in hospital?
No, she's at home, but the last few nights she's been sleeping downstairs.
Oh, is that a euphemism?
No,
she can't get upstairs. Oh, mate, I'm sorry. All jokes to one side. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Hello?
Text messages from the mobile.
Okay. Oh, it would be... text messages from the mobile. Wow, the mobile's texting you now. This is incredible. So what's going to happen then, man? What's the plan?
Well, she's had the doctor out this afternoon.
Yeah.
She's got to go for an outpatient for some tests at the outpatient at the hospital.
Yeah.
And she's got to have an inhaler to help with the breathing and all that.
Okay, well, your fingers crossed. Look after Mum. Maybe give her a foot massage.
She's got Revitive Medic somewhere.
She's got what?
One of these Revitive foot massages.
Well, give her a good foot massage.
Maybe we can get a Swedish foot massage.
Maybe you can do it. Do it. Go
I don't know how to do a Swedish foot massage.
You spit on your hand.
Oh, God.
You rub them together and then you rub.
Have a look on YouTube. There's lots of instructional videos.
There's loads of instructional...
massage-based.
Loads of instructional visios, as Catherine said.
Visios.
Did you see the picture of the sun in the black hole?
Did I see
We're moving on.
Did I see the picture of the black hole? We're not talking about your mum here, are we?
No, we're moving on.
Okay, right, good. That's just got to check these things. You just never know these days. We're talking about those dolphins. Yes, I did see the picture of the black hole, yes.
I've never seen one that size before. That far away in Galaxy M87.
You've never seen one that size before. Here's the thing. It's not a real picture, is it? Because black hole... Have I got this right? Have I got my science right, Alan? That black holes, you can't see black holes because it's so dark that light can't be reflected or refracted or whatever from them, so you can't see them. So surely it's a computer-generated image, isn't it? It's not a photograph. And also there's like blue electricity coming out of it. Well, you can't see that either.
It could have been the gravitational pull of the flight being pulled towards the black hole.
Yes.
That's what's called an electric
It's like two people coming down from ecstasy trying to have an intelligent conversation and failing miserably. Thank you very much, Alan Caddick. That's true, though. You can't see a black hole because it's so dark that it absorbs light, so you can't take a picture of it. Also, where's the camera?
Wouldn't it get swallowed? I thought the whole point of black holes is that...
Well, what would?
Everything.
Well, what? Well, not everything, otherwise I've
seen black holes on telly.
No,
you don't want to go in one.
You've seen the movie The Black Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Einstein was a racist.
What?
Yeah, Einstein was a racist. When I was researching artists who are a-holes, the A's who are A's, Einstein had a real problem with the Asians. Don't we all?
No.
That was a joke. You could probably make a funny joke out of E equals MC squared somehow. But, yeah, he had a real problem with the Asians and also was apparently thoroughly unpleasant to his wife. And he had like a set of rules that she had to follow, including... you will only come into my room when I give you permission. You will, if you expect any... Google Einstein's rules for his wife. It's something about pleasure. There's something about pleasure in there.
He seemed like such a fun guy and young Einstein.
With the tongue out and getting ready for Marilyn Monroe to sit on his face.
What?
That's what the tongue was for. It's literally just seconds. You got it?
Here we go.
Go on. These are Einstein's rules for his wife.
Conditions. You will make sure that my clothes and laundry are kept in good order, that I will receive my 3 meals regularly in my room, that my bedroom and study are kept neat, and especially that my desk is left for my use only.
I'm Dr. Hook Westheimer.
You will renounce all personal relations with me insofar as they are not completely necessary for social reasons. Specifically, you will forego 1, my sitting at home with you, 2, my going out or travelling with you. And ask. Actually, she's probably relieved to have it on paper.
Yeah.
On paper. C. You will obey the following points in your relations with me. You will not... 1. Ein. You will not expect any intimacy for me.
You keep dropping the accent. What is that?
Sorry, I'm just...
Come on.
Nor will you reproach me in any way.
Wow.
2. You will stop talking to me if I request it.
I am too busy knobbing the Marilyn Monroe.
3. You will leave my bedroom or study immediately without protest if I request it.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one, Einstein.
D. This is an interesting one.
Okay.
You know, they say if it's hysterical, it's historical.
You say that, yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah.
You will undertake not to belittle me in front of our children, either through words or behaviour.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes, guys. This guy's a genius in more ways than one. There we go. An hour of filling time until we die has been completed. I hope you enjoyed it. We're passing the hat now. Please fold up any donations and slip them in. Another 2 hours to go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I've got to talk about Tinder, Haunted Dolls, Chris Lilly, Assange. There's a really interesting story about a woman who's got the sack from Emmerdale for tweets that she did about 5 or 6 years ago. It's fascinating. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Some show tonight. Well, it's been a good run of shows. It turns out, A, having a week off, B, having your best mate do a bloody good job when you're week off, C, meds kicking in, D, kittens, and E, being involved in a near-fatal car crash, and that's not an exaggeration. All of those things combined have encouraged me to raise my game, dear listener. Arguing with a few Michael Jackson idiots, blocking some a-holes, some Jackson a-holes. That's an inappropriate phrase, I take that back immediately. Raise my game. The show is flying high. Saying that, the switchboard is now empty. If you could turn that computer off for a second, please. Thank you very much, because that buzz is annoying. So if you want to give me a call on this joviable show, 0344 499 1000. Katarina Boylsky.
Einstein update.
Yes?
Spoiler alert.
Yep.
The rules we read out before the news were about his first wife,
Yes.
Maleva Maric.
Oh, yeah?
She divorced him shortly after.
Okay, well, that shouldn't have been allowed. An intelligent man, he should have had a rule. You shall not divorce me.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. On air and off the leash. On Talk Radio.
gypsies all of a row, and they sang Neaton Bonnie O, sang St Neaton, they're so complete. They stole the heart of a lady, and she's kicked off her high-heeled shoes, made of the Spanish leather, and she's put on an old pair of brogues to follow the gypsy laddie. Late at night her lord come home and he's inquiring for his lady. The servant's down on his knees and said she's away with 7 gypsies.
Well, it is Saturday morning, it's 9:42, and I'm off to interview Nic Jones, a man who I knew nothing about until I heard a brilliant programme on Radio 4 Extra, actually, 1:30 in the morning a few months ago. And since then, I have become vaguely obsessed. Now, I'm driving all the way, it's near Tavistock. It's miles away. Well, let me just see exactly where we're going. It's 4 hours and 19 minutes away, 226 miles. So, man alive, I hope to get there by about, well, if I can get there for 2:30, 3, take it nice and easy, that would be good. And we'll have a chat with Nic Jones and his wife, Julia, who have been incredibly accommodating and very kind. Right. Let's go.
'56, I sailed on board a ship called Byron 1. She's carried trawler men on deck and a harpoon whaling gun. Oh, you trawler men, come on, forget your snapper and your prawn. For it's out of Ballina we'll sail, fishing for the humpback whale.
Hello, I'm Iain. How lovely to meet you at last. Oh, be gentle with your hands. Nice to see you.
Tendinitis or something like that. RSI. They don't know. They just give you a load of painkillers.
Painkillers and a little thing to put on.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Okay, thank you.
Nice to meet you at last.
Yeah. Come through.
Thank you.
You're tall.
I'm quite tall, yes. There is that. This area is amazing.
It is.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
Which way? Did you come over Dartmoor?
I came through Dartmoor, yeah.
Nick.
Hey, it's Nick.
Iain.
I'm Iain.
Hey.
Nice to meet you at last. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, fine.
I brought a bottle of wine just to say thank you very much for letting me come and say hello. It's nice to meet you.
Would you like
Where did you come down from?
I'm Aylesbury. So it's just taken 4 hours or so.
That's not bad, actually.
It's not bad, and it's a lovely drive.
Yeah.
Listening to some Nick on the way, listening to some radio.
It's no mistake. What? Bad mistake. Bad mistake. Go and have a think. Can I get you a tea or a coffee?
Coffee would be lovely, please. White, no sugar.
Proper coffee, as opposed to instant.
Proper coffee, if you have a proper coffee. Right, well, I'm in the house with Nic Jones. Nice to meet you, Nick.
That's okay.
How long have you been in this house? Because this is incredible. It's an amazing view out of that window.
It's a lovely place. Yeah, I've been here about 10 years. 10 years. So before that, we were in rubbish places at Yorkshire. And
you can't say Yorkshire. Is Yorkshire rubbish? No.
And what's the place? Cambridgeshire as well. No, that was rubbish too. And Chelmsford, that was even worse. So whenever we moved, I used to always hate the places where we moved. This is the first place where I actually moved in and wanted to be here.
What's so different about this place, though?
I don't know. It's just feels nice. You know? Yeah. And it was a wreck which we had to redo. We had to rebuild it. You know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it had to be rebuilt because there were no floors. You know, there were no, everything was a real mess, and the whole place was yellow. It was painted yellow, and it was ridiculous, awful place.
It's now very tasteful white.
Yeah.
There are floors. You've got floors.
Yeah, that's got. There are wooden floors over there, but
your cat is drinking milk out of that milk jug. Come on now, Smudge. That's not for you, is it? Unbelievable.
She likes milk. Cats like milk.
Apparently, it's bad for cats.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to give them milk.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that was something that they liked to have, and they were okay with it.
Yeah. Now, Nick, I was saying, I'm going to be honest, I hadn't heard of you until about 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah. Well, I told you, I have a strained relationship with English folk, and I've tried it, and I will keep dipping in. Should I push her down? Come on, Smudge, that's not... She's gone. I would keep trying to dip in. Well, don't whack her with your cane. It's not that bad. And there was just something about it. I just couldn't... There would be a couple of songs, and I just couldn't quite get into it. And then I heard this documentary about you it was on 4 Extra, 1:30 in the morning. And just the story blew me away, and we'll talk about the story in a bit. But, man,
what's the story?
You were on the way up, and then you hit a truck. I mean, that's the story.
It's pretty good, yeah.
It's not
bricks.
We'll get there in a minute. But the music grabbed me. It was the first time I'd heard English folk, or at least a kind of variation on it, where it made me go, "Whoa, this is incredible." How did you get started?
By having a good method of playing, which was to hit the guitar and got a nice beat out of it. Yeah. And you whack it with your ball of your thumb hits the bridge, and you get a clicking, and it gives you like a drummer sound with the guitar, and that supports the guitar.
But how did you develop that? When did you? And I'm aware that your memory's not as good as it was. You've warned me, so there may be some blanks or there may be some lies. We just don't know. But do you remember when you first got a guitar? Who were you trying to be when you first picked up?
Trying to be Hank Marvin.
Oh, really?
Hank Marvin. Yeah.
Wow.
He's a great guitar player, I felt, and I wanted to be like him. So I played things like Apache and the Frightened City, and I played them on the guitar to learn. And I had a guitar, but it was the first guitar I got was a Chinese, and it cost me £4.10. Yeah. That's 10 shillings. That was old money, and I bought this guitar and trying to learn to play Hank Marvin stuff on this guitar.
I think Hank's been kind of forgotten that he was sort of the first British guitar hero that we had, and he inspired a lot of people, and he's sort of been consigned to the history books a bit, I think.
Yeah, but he's a great guitar player. He was great. And the Shadows were ace. I didn't like Cliff Richards very much. I found him a bit of a strange character, but I didn't really like him very much, but I liked the guitar playing.
Yeah. Well, then how... Because Hank Marvin was kind of rock, I guess you could rock and roll. Really? How did you then move from that to folk music and traditional folk music as well?
Well, I was asked to join a group by some people who the Halliard, and they were a group in Chelmsford, and they played in this folk club they owned, and the main singer, he used to have a magazine which was called folk music, I suppose, something like that, and
title,
And he did the club. He had to own the club, and he wanted to keep the group going. And the guitar player at the time, Jeff Harris, he was a good guitar player, but he was leaving. He didn't want to become a professional, and he wanted to stay at home and do his job. Whereas the others, we wanted to get round and get some money and get some guitars and
get some girls, I'm guessing, as well. Oh, just as Julia walks in, sorry.
It's all sorts of good fun. And then I played the guitar, so I said, I'll help you out, play the guitar a bit in the group, and I'll go around with you. We'll do a few bookings, and so I became a professional at that point, professional singer, because I didn't really like doing the jobs that I'd been doing.
What were you doing? What was your day job?
The best job actually was as a lifeguard in a swimming pool, the Chelmsford swimming pool, and that was really good. But most of the jobs I was doing were office jobs, and I tried to be, sort of Mr. Smarty Pants in London, and it was rubbish. It was awful. Awful stuff. And so I wanted to stop that working now. I thought the idea of singing a few songs and getting money for that was a great idea. And I realised that there was good money there.
What year was this, roughly? Do you remember?
Late 70s, early 60s. I'm trying to think.
Well, it probably would have been like mid-60s, maybe 64, 65?
Well, I was about 20-ish when we started playing in the group, and that was 47. That would be 67. 67.
Because were you never tempted? Because obviously people think of 67, they think of like Sgt. Pepper and the Beatles and the Stones and all of that. You were never tempted to go down the rock route, the psychedelic kind of...
That's what I wanted to do.
Really? You want to do folk?
No.
Oh.
No, I just got this opportunity to get a few shekels, do a few bookings here.
You poured yourself out to get some... Oh, good for you, OK.
I wanted to play rock and roll, yeah. I wanted to be Hank Marvin playing Stratton City. That's what I was after doing.
But you ended up in the folk group, doing the rounds. How much were you getting paid for those gigs?
Well, I think at the time, it was about 20 quid per booking.
That's not bad for mid to late 60s, is it? That's pretty good.
It was okay. It's good. It's good money. And it also, in fact, it only took an hour. What I didn't realise, and I should have really thought about it, was that really the majority of the job was actually driving.
Right, yeah.
It's driving, not singing. Singing, you sing for an hour, you drive for about 6 hours.
I've heard musicians say they do the gigs for free, they get paid for the travelling. That's what they earn their money for.
Yeah, and that's what wrecked me in the end, is the travelling. And I used to go, I used to do a series of folk clubs, and then at the last booking on a tour, I'd drive home, which was after the singing. And I was whacked out tired, and that's what happened. I fell asleep and whacked a lorry.
Well, let's do that, and then we'll go back to the music. So I want to kind of celebrate the music, but an integral part of your story is the car crash after a gig. When was this? 82? 82.
Something like that. Yeah,
so I don't remember. No, of course you would remember. Sorry, I didn't. Of course you
Load for the bricks.
You don't remember any of the night? You played from what I have read, you played a gig driving...
Glossop, it was. Glossop, that's where the booking was.
Do you remember the gig at all?
No. I know I did it because I did most of the towns in England. I did, at some point. Yeah.
When you were gigging around that era, late 70s, early 80s, what was the setup? Was it just you with a guitar going off in a car on your own?
Yeah, you drive for a few hours to get to Manchester or somewhere and do the Manchester Folk Club to get some money, and then go home if possible, or if I was got another booking in Manchester region, I'd then stay overnight somewhere.
B&B.
Yeah. And, I also stay with some of the folk club, some of the folk operators, Yeah, and we... I do a tour for about maybe a week or so. I do in the same region. I do, say, Liverpool, Manchester, what's the other place? Birmingham, and then...
Yeah, so go around...
go around...
Go to an area for a week, hang out, and then come back home.
Yeah.
So the accident... you're driving home, and you only know this because people have told you what happened.
Yeah.
You hit a truck carrying a load of bricks.
Yeah. What happened? I think I fell asleep. I don't remember this at all.
Julia is shaking her head. Do you want to tell us?
Well, you don't know for something.
I know certain.
I mean, I drove over there so many times, going back and forth to the hospital, and he'd just gone over a little bridge, and you shake. So it was a bend, a notorious bend that has a road off it that reflects lights off, and if a car was parked up there, so we're not sure he went to sleep, or they reckon that he didn't sleep. He had a burst tyre, but that was probably caused through the accident. And it was a new car, so whether he was fiddling, you don't know. I don't know, but I don't think it was assumed you fell asleep, because for him that time of night was quite normal.
Right.
That new car, I was probably got a heater or something.
The heater? Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? We'll never know, Nick, but...
Maybe the guy came out without any lights on.
You're thinking of Prince Philip now.
Yeah.
You're getting things confused.
But it was very strange that a friend of the driver's actually came round to see me, which I thought was very odd, asking, did Nick remember anything about the accident? But that may have just been genuine concern.
When did you, Julia, find out that he'd been in a really serious accident?
Well, about a couple of hours after. I was already up. I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was up, waiting almost for a knock at the door.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't even begin to imagine. That must have been horrible.
Yes, I mean, it was. But I think, people, it must be the same for people whose husbands do anything, they're on the road a lot. There's always that possibility, isn't there? And it's just that you get a sort of a sense of something. I always used to wake up just before he came in.
Right, okay, yeah.
And we always worked out roughly how far away he was.
Yeah.
Where he was thinking, nearly there. Whatever it is.
Yeah. I don't want to dwell on the accident. So a couple more questions, then we'll kind of go back to the music, because that's the important stuff, and the accident is horrible. But...
That's a great accident.
Thank you. But you did nearly die.
Oh, yeah, I did.
When you
it took all the blood off me. It took all the blood out of me.
All of it?
All of it.
No.
They replaced it with some other stuff.
Oh, you put some other stuff in there. When you came out, is it true? I've heard that when people come out of a coma or a stroke, and they struggle to speak, that all they can remember are swear words. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll just...
But I had a few months before I came out of the swear words.
Really?
I was out for the count.
Yeah, but they were the first words, more or less. And
I've heard this from a few people.
He'd make up words. Right. So you'd get odd words like oblong. Oblong?
Yeah.
Pyjamas, Nick? No, not never knew what they meant. But swear words. And I remember another singer, Tony Rose, his father had... I think he had a stroke or something, and he said, I've never heard his father swear in his whole life. He said, and this torrent of abuse came out.
I've heard if you go to stroke wards, there's because I don't know. I guess it's because the F word and the S word, they mean everything. They can mean beautiful things and horrific. They can mean everything, can't they?
It's a main means of expression. It's a necessity. You have to swear.
Let's go back to the music a bit. Your Penguin Eggs is a masterpiece. When did that come out? 81?
80.
80. Looking to the historian over there. What do you remember? Anything about that, recording that album, realising that this was something really different from what you'd done before?
No, I never think that much about. I never think about it much. Once I've done it, and I forget about it then. I never listened to it much, do I? No, never used to listen to my own records.
Because it's cited as like one of the top 100 albums of all time, one of the 50 albums you must listen to before you die.
In between, who was it? Good rock singer, what's his name?
Was David Bowie one of them?
David Bowie, yeah, and the Rolling Stones, yeah. Well, I was in between them.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Number 79.
Not that you're keeping score or anything,
no.
but that's something to be... I mean, that's something to be incredibly proud of.
Yeah, very.
And Bob Dylan nicked didn't he nick a song off you?
Kennedy Howe.
The arrangement.
Yeah, Kennedy Howe.
That's a great song. Yeah. He nicked it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's famously... I mean, I wouldn't want to call him a plagiarist, but...
Oh, he's a great songwriter.
Oh, he's great. But he's a little bit of a tea leaf as well.
Oh, probably he's a great performer. I just like him. I heard him in Perth, in Australia, doing a concert there, and he was really great.
I'm late to Dylan. I couldn't get into Dylan for years, and then last year I think it was Blind Willie McTell. I don't know if you know that song. That opened the gateway to Bob Dylan. I'm seeing him in concert in July for the first time. I hear his concerts these days are very hit or miss. It's either going to be amazing or it's going to be a car crash. We shouldn't really use that phrase. Sorry. I just realised how inappropriate that was. Sorry, that wasn't deliberate. So you were saying before we started talking, you did the first two solo albums in 70, 71, I think they were.
Yeah. Really?
You don't rate them, though.
Oh, rubbish.
No, they're not, though, man. Why do you think that?
Well, they were good, but the songs they meant nothing really to me. I mean, that was a good thing. In a way, the songs meant nothing to me, because I didn't really like traditional folk songs. And what I wanted to do, actually, was, at the end, I was trying to change to become a contemporary singer rather than a traditional singer.
Right.
But I was known as a traditional singer who did ballads and all this stuff. And I didn't want to be that. I wanted to write songs myself. So I started to...
So is that why there was the big gap between the first two albums and then the next albums? There's a gap of sort of 7 years, something like that? Is that because you just didn't... know what you wanted to say?
Probably with me it's laziness, because I was very lazy.
You're a lazy man?
I've always been a very lazy man. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wasn't very lazy. Yeah. But it saved me in a lot of senses. Yeah. So if I wanted to become a songwriter rather than sing just a singer, you know. And I didn't really have any connection with any of traditional songs much, you know.
Right.
And so I wanted to sing songs which express what I felt and so.
So are you saying, because I saw on one of the albums that you covered a Loudon Wainwright song and a Randy Newman song. Are those the kind of people you were aspiring to be?
Yeah. Hit Me With a Rhythm Stick was one song which got me going.
Really? Ian Jury?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You didn't record that, did you?
No, I didn't.
God, I'd love to hear a Nic Jones version of that. Imagine!
It's a great song, yeah. But also the swinging song that Loud Wainwright did, and that was from the McGarrigle sisters. I learned from the McGarrigle sisters, because that one was married to the chap.
Oh yeah, of course.
Loud Wainwright. Yeah. And in the end, and she died now. Yeah. But they were great as a group. The McGarrigle sisters. I fell in love with them. They were fantastic.
We had Loudon on the show. He came on the show, and man alive, he can tell stories. It's obvious in his songs and his book that he wrote last year. He's an incredible man. Have you met him?
No.
Really?
Never met him. He's a great guy. Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying he was a great guy. I don't know whether he was a great guy.
He may have been a bastard, for all we know. No, I suspect not. I suspect he wasn't.
He might be boring. He might be big-headed, I don't know.
He was he was being recorded by a friend of ours who told him that Nick had recorded the swimming song. And what had happened to Nick, and at the end of the show, after the show had turned off, he recorded the swimming song for Nick and said, "Here, Nick, buddy."
A few other songs he put on that tape, didn't he?
I don't know whether Daft did, but so he did that for you.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
It's good chat though.
After the accident, did you were you frustrated? Because obviously you were physically damaged. You couldn't play guitar as well or at all.
At all.
At all.
Mainly because with right hand, everything on the right hand was outside of the car. Everything was smashed, legs, arms, everything, and the eyes, and everything. And it's outside, and the right hand was never there to play with the rhythm, because I wanted to play the rhythm.
That was your technique.
Yeah, to get the rhythm, but I could never get the beats, and I had to spend ages trying to get the rhythm, being able to pluck the strings, and I couldn't organise these fingers at all, and they started to gradually, after a while, it started to come back. It's starting to come back now.
And there's obviously a little bit of I hope this doesn't sound offensive, brain damage, in as much as that you forget words and you get a little bit jumbled and you're quite forgetful. That may be old age, Nick, I don't know.
No, I had to relearn the whole language.
Did you?
Yeah, I had to relearn. And they're these lovely nurses, they taught me all these words that I never knew, like promise and will you and won't you.
Wow.
And amazing, they taught me the words that I didn't know, you know.
As a performer and as a songwriter and as a musician, that must have been, I mean, frustrating. Can't even can't even touch the surface of it. Surely, how did you cope with that? I mean, did you come out and just try and play again, or did you kind of give up? What was the deal?
No, I never gave up. I just wanted to play the guitar, and I just had to always practice and try and pick the strings, because I used to pick very individual strings and then whack them. And all things that my right hand used to do, and the left hand was okay. I could play the chords, but I couldn't play the actual notes right with the right hand. And that was what's so frustrating, was I could never get the rhythm, and I wanted rhythm. You know? That's what it was all about.
This is what we were saying earlier. Hit me with your rhythm stick. But your technique is, you can hear the right hand slapping the guitar and slapping the strings, and you don't need a drummer. You've got it all going off in the right hand, and if you couldn't do that, that must have been tough for everybody, you know, having an incredibly talented man not being able to express himself in a way that he would want to. That must have been tough for you, Julia.
Yeah, having to listen to
listen to that racket.
And he still goes on. But I mean, the damage is as someone with a stroke. So there's the spasticity that gets in the way of, you know, he's going along fine and then it stops.
Listen to the wrong notes.
You know, the brain doesn't connect. But I mean, he's coped very well, and it was only because he was so laid back anyway. He used to say, you know, people say, oh, you know, it's dreadful, and he said, yeah, well, it could have been worse. I could have gone further on and been killed outright. So that was always his attitude.
The world must have been surprised then when you came back, I guess is the phrase, and did some gigs. What year would those gigs have been? Early 2000s? Again, we're looking to Julia.
It's not that long ago, is it?
Was it 2010?
Could be.
No, it's later than that, isn't it?
Oh, really?
I don't remember. I didn't remember.
Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
The late-night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Let's go to Marilyn. Good evening, Marilyn.
Hello, Iain.
Hello, Marilyn. Hey, Marilyn.
Hey, yeah. I just want to give you a cuddle.
Hey, it's very kind of you.
I'm just, I think you should come off that, all the social media.
Yes.
Draw a line under it. You were happy yesterday. You had a lovely holiday with your lad.
Yeah.
And just, we all love you.
Well, not everyone does. I'm seeing on my screen. But thank you, Marilyn. You're right. I think I think those are sensible. I think those are sensible suggestions.
It's everybody that goes on these things that they get upset. All they do is upset people. You've got to be in a really good state of mind to be able to take it, and you're not. So get off it.
Get off it. Get off it. Hey,
do as your ma says.
Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's go to Jenny. Good evening, Jenny.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I'm on the air. I can't believe it. Just want to say hello and look after yourself.
Thank you.
And have a lovely cuddle from your cats when you get in.
Yes, man. If they're locked in, actually, so Lucky won't have escaped and gone off somewhere else. Yeah.
I know. Listen, because I woke up last night and heard you talking about being on the train track, shaking the box of biscuits, and I was thinking, oh my God.
It was a life and death situation. I was wondering, Lucky wouldn't come home. I didn't know where she was, so I had to go. There's a train track right at the back of my garden, and I had to go and climb up there, and I was literally stood in the middle of a train track, shaking a big bag of biscuits, going, Lucky, Lucky.
Meanwhile, she was sauntering home like, what are you worrying about?
Yeah, I know. They're little sods, aren't they?
Oh, they are. We got 4.
4?
Well, I don't... Yeah.
That's hardcore. I've only got 3.
3 are rescued, and 1 isn't, because it took me 10 years after my other one died to get another one. But I got the emulation of my first one, so that's good. But the other 3, there's long stories about how they came about, but they don't go out, unfortunately. They live in.
Yeah, I did.
To get them to go out.
I did toy with keeping them in, but you know, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know, they're happy out and about, and I love my little girls.
Well, I'm the first time caller to any radio show.
Wow, you called in on the night I have a breakdown on air.
There you go.
Wow, that's what it takes. This is what we need to do to get more callers.
Yeah, and my heart's going, but you wouldn't believe I work on the phone all day. I'm a receptionist and blah blah blah. But I'm like, my heart's in my mouth anyway.
Well, you've done absolutely brilliant, Jenny. It's nice. Thanks for sharing about your cats. I really appreciate it.
And take care.
Thank you, Jenny. Cheers. Bye bye. Let's try Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hi. First of all, can I just say sorry if you're not calling in before. I've been a fan of your show I've been a fan of you for a very long time, and there's a lot of synchronicities between our lives. I'm a recovering heroin addict. I've been clean for 13 years.
Hey, congratulations.
But still, a day does not go by where I don't wake up and instantly, for a split second, it's like I wonder whether I'm withdrawing or not. And it never goes away. And I suppose I just wanted to say to you that the only thing you can do with the things that you've done, I mean, there is so much guilt in my life for things that happened in the past, for things that I did while I was an heroin addict, etc. And the only way that I could get through them is to own them, to just say, right, well, it cannot be changed. These things cannot be taken away. But that doesn't change who you are. You're probably one of the most honest people that I've ever, listened to, and I think you do an excellent job. Life's difficult. It's not something that you wake up every day. You go to work. You come home. Everything's perfect. It's not like that. It's different for everybody, and to have you had a little breakdown on air. That to me makes me respect you more, because it shows that you do care, and it shows that you are that honest person that I've come to really like over the years, and I promise you, it will get better. It will get better. It won't ever become perfect, I don't think. I can't promise you that. I'm 13 years down the line, and
I relapsed after 13 years.
Yeah, I did a very similar thing after after 12 years, me and my girlfriend broke up, and a lot of things were happening at the time, and everything just seemed to happen at once. And I had a very small relapse where I used for a few weeks. But it's not to dwell on. It doesn't take all the other hard work away. My very first drug counsellor, who was a fantastic woman, she told me that life is a road, and in that road there is a hole, and we walk down the road and we'll fall down the hole and we'll drag ourselves out, and then we'll walk down the road again and we'll fall down the hole again and we'll drag ourselves out, and eventually we'll figure a way to either build a bridge over the road or accept help to get over the hole.
The council need to come and fill in the holes in the road. That's the problem.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But where I live in Bassetlaw, you haven't got a chance. But yeah, it will keep happening throughout life. It's not going to be perfect, and you are going to have a lot of times where this happens. But you've just got to own it and just be yourself. Just carry on being yourself.
So, if you had to have a fight with a Beatle, one of the Beatles, which Beatle do you think you could beat? I would imagine Ringo is nuts. I imagine Ringo would just kill you. I've got a well, we know, we have the evidence that George Harrison is tough because he had an intruder in his house and he fought with him for 45 minutes. Admittedly, his wife had to come in and...
She delivered the blow. But
you know, George was taking literally knives to the chest. So, Harrison is tough. I think Lennon would be a pussy.
You think?
I think Lennon is all swagger and talk, but I reckon as soon as you...
Yoko would get you.
As soon as you... We should do karate, isn't it? As soon as you pulled your fist back to hit him, he'd like cower. Whoa... Oh,
peace and love, man.
Oh, don't hit me. So if you want to phone in about fighting rock stars, 0344 499 1000. Otherwise, I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit of a sob fest. Good evening, Robert.
Good evening. How are we? Well, I know you are. How are you, Kath?
Yep.
Hey, it's Rob.
Hey. I thought, listen, I've not heard him for a bit, and... Yeah,
no, tonight's not the first night in ages you've tuned in, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, mate, good for you. Well played.
On form. But here's the thing. Do you know about this Mrs Hinch?
Who?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Kath knows. This is a lady that does cleaning, and she's making an absolute fortune.
She's like Kim and Aggie, but fit.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not a nudie. Is she a nudie cleaner?
No.
Okay. No.
She's just glamorous.
You won't mind, though. Don't mind. But, sorry.
What's her name? Mrs Hinch?
Put Mrs Hinch into Google. She's had a makeover recently.
Okay. But so she just tidies houses?
Well, no, she gives you tips like baking soda and vinegar.
Vinegar cleans everything, man. Vinegar.
Yeah, but I did because of Kim and Aggie, I was quite into it when I got my first flat. I did my bathroom with vinegar, and it smelled like fish and chips for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it was clean.
Cool. And you've got to get it right. But I think there's a market in this because, like, I've got my own tip, which, I don't know, I'm thinking I could become Mr. Hinch, but I need something.
Yeah.
So, basically, if you use wet wipes all the time, you will get hemorrhoids. Did you know this?
Well...
What, from having a moist sphincter?
Exactly. I did not know this, Kath.
I didn't know. Why would you use wet wipes?
Because I've got a bit of a promotion. I'm living the high life.
He's posh now.
I'm not using dry. And my bum started bleeding.
Wow,
So,
you've broken your bum.
There you go.
Mrs Hinch is going to fix his bums?
Well, no, I'm thinking of becoming Mr. Hinch and offering, like, life pro tips for men.
Mr. Flinch.
Mr. Flinch. There you go, Kath. Thank you.
Wow.
There's 10%.
Excellent.
Wow, okay.
Do you think this
So
has
you've just phoned me up to tell me that you find a cleaner fit and you've got a bloody bottom.
Well, you're the one saying give Snapchat your nudie bits, so, you know.
He's got me there. Rob, can I have my pictures back, please?
Yeah, can I have a couple?
Yeah, okay, I'll send it. We'll do a competition. You're one of the few that didn't get them, but thank you, Rob. 0344 499 1000. Let's try. It's Chris. Good evening, Chris.
Evening, Ian.
Evening, Chris.
Yes, my brother.
What you got?
Don't let the bastards grind you down, man.
Okay.
Listen.
Yes?
You know what? If you bloody quit your show, who am I going to bloody listen to of an evening?
Well, someone with a potty mouth, apparently, judging by the language coming out of yours.
Yeah, well, I'm just peed off, man.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Well, good to hear you back, man.
Thank you, Chris. I'm sorry for being silly an hour ago. That was it was inappropriate.
Don't be sorry, man. You was rude to my brother. He wasn't very happy.
Well, hang on. Who was your brother?
David. He rang you up to tell you he was doing home improvements.
I didn't care about his home improvements. And he had a rubbish phone. He should be doing phone improvements. That's what he should be doing.
I know. I've told him that many times. Oh, man.
Hey, nice one, Chris. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's try Craig. Good evening, Craig.
Evening, Ian.
Evening, Craig.
So, a couple of points I wanted to make. Yeah. One, I sent you a tweet, probably months ago now, about that I saw you in Computer Exchange with your two sons, and I wish I said hello, but I chose not to.
Yes. I always say hello in Computer Exchange.
I know. You were doing some good trades, I believe.
I may well have been, yes. The trades in the Computer Exchange, I mean, you take a game in and they give you 25p, literally, for some of them.
I know, for classics as well.
Yeah, classics.
So, and a few weeks later, you went for an appointment that you, me, and everybody go to, I hope so, in a village very nearby. And at reception, you actually wrote a card saying, "Love you from Ian."
Hang on, when was that?
It was a few weeks later. Are you okay if I mention the village that you went to?
Yeah, go on.
Hadnam.
Hadnam.
And you went to, did you go to the dentist?
Oh, God, yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh, yes, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and that was me you wrote it to, and to be honest,
now, your missus works behind the counter?
No, she doesn't. She was actually, I believe, I'm sure not, it's up to you if I break confidence.
This is the dentist, it's not really that confidential.
I'm a mental health nurse, so I have to be careful. No, she was your dental nurse.
That was it. That's exactly who she was. I'm so sorry. Yes, I do remember. Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad, because I thought she was just a weirdo. I didn't think there really was a Craig. I thought this was just a scam, but it turns out you're a real human being.
And she didn't directly ask you, but she did ring down to reception.
That was it.
Reception to ask.
That was it. I knew I'd signed it downstairs at the thing. Okay. Oh, well, there you go, man. Well, she was an excellent. They did an excellent service on my teeth. Of course, they wrote me in for the hygienist, which I always think is a bit of a scam. But you know, you feel better after it, so I'll pay the £45, whatever it is.
Yeah. Good man.
Thank you, man.
Secondly, I just want to say, because I know you frequent the Odeon Cinema sometimes, so you said on the radio the other day, don't wear a white T-shirt when you go.
Why?
Because I found out when I went to go and see ABBA, Mamma Mia 2, I won't go into the reasons why I went to see it, but it was a work do. It got quite hot and sweaty due to the fact they turned the temperature control off, not because of the content of the film.
Yes.
I came out, my back was brown.
Oh. What? Because of the chairs?
Because of the chairs. Because obviously it got quite hot and sweaty, which, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But I came out, and my white T-shirt, I came home, and my girlfriend, who's obviously around cleanliness and infection control, said, "Oh, my God, look at the state of you." And
so was it just it wasn't the dye of the chair, it was filth?
Filth, Ian, I tell you.
That's outrageous.
So,
are you sure? I have to listen, because we have to kind of be impartial here. Are you sure it wasn't, just filth seeping out of your back?
Well, no, I've been at work for that day, but it wasn't a busy day, to
Your
be
pores
fair.
aren't that clogged?
No, I'd like to think not.
Wow.
So
okay, well, listen, that's a top tip, Craig. I appreciate that. Do not wear white T-shirts when you go to the Odeon Cinema. Also, don't go and see Mamma Mia 2. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to go and see.
I kind of got roped along to it.
Shut up, man. It was your suggestion. Any suggestions for the film we should go and see? Craig's hand up. Yeah, Mamma Mia 2's out. I've booked it already. We're going.
Yeah, and do you know what? I hadn't even seen Mamma Mia.
Did you manage to pick up the story?
Funny enough, there were some songs in there that I knew.
Shazam on Monday. Off to see Shazam with the boys.
My son and I will hopefully be going this week. So
there you go.
Ian, all the best.
Thank you, brother. Nice to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. I remember it was the computer exchange in Aylesbury, and I'd taken back a faulty controller, but I parked illegally. And I had to say, we've really got to hurry this up because I've parked illegally. But actually, thinking back, I don't think the controller was faulty either. I don't think I was trying to sync it up properly. I think I'd synced it up. Yeah, I think I'd synced it up incorrectly. Yes, Dan?
Good evening. Ian, while you were on air a little hour ago, having a moment or two...
Yes.
I was suffering a trauma myself.
Uh-oh, go on, what's happened?
I've got 3 cats, Ian.
Hey, well done, good for you. It's a good number.
Yeah, sooty, smoking bandit.
Oh, okay.
And they're getting quite old now.
Yeah.
And one of them doesn't cover their poo anymore. And sometimes she poos outside the litter box.
Oh, well, one of my young ones is doing that.
Yeah, but right next to the litter box.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if it's clean litter, sarcastically. And Ian, my house smells of mushy peas.
Why? What are you feeding them? Mushy peas?
Well, they just eat cat food, but it smells like bachelor's mushy peas. My eyes are watering.
I'm going to have to smell some bachelor's mushy peas, because when my cats do a poo, it doesn't smell anything. It's not what I would call a mushy pea. 30 seconds, particularly after Mucky's done one, that they've done one, because it just wafts in.
It's filling the house.
Can you open a window?
Well, I could open a window, but it's 20 to 1 in the morning, and I'm quite comfortable on the
sofa. Too late to open a window, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's too late.
Can you get I don't know if this works. Can you get a clothes peg and put it over your nose? Does that work?
I've tried using my fingers, getting them up there, but she just complained.
Oh, okay. Sorry?
Yeah.
The
cat's just complained.
Dirty boy. He's been meant fingers up the cat's bum. I get that. Dave, stay there. We'll come to you in a minute. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
By the way, Jack phones us. You know, the young lad from Scotland.
Yeah.
It's funny. You've never seen him. There's a picture. You can put a picture to his face. He looks a little bit like my eldest. With the teeth. The teeth that young people have as the rest of the teeth are growing and the face is taking shape and all of that. He looks similar to my eldest. It's nice to put... and he's sending some very, very nice tweets. And so thank you, Jack. And it's very, very nice to put picture face to the voice, as it were. I may have talked myself out of a job tonight, by the way, guys. Let's see what happens. Who knows? Let's see what happens. If the bosses complain, we'll say it was theatre. It's performance. It's a performance. It was I don't know. Dave!
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Hello.
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 Well, I've listened to all you said tonight, and I think my answer would be John Lennon.
Do you agree with me? Lovely intro, by the way. Do you agree with me that I bet he's all mouth and no trousers?
Yeah, he's very much the loud mouth and talking. He can't walk the walk. I mean, McCartney would be a dirty fighter, I think.
Oh, McCartney would do the thing where he'd kind of talk you out of it, then as you kind of turn to leave, he'd pick up a chair and smack you over the back of it.
Yeah. And then get 50% of the... I don't know, that doesn't work really.
I can see where you're going.
Money out of it somehow.
I see where you're going.
George is was tough as nails, you know.
Well, that whole, I mean, not to make light of it, because obviously it was horrendous, but that whole, battle with the intruder, I think it went on for about 45...
He was chanting Hare Krishna sort of.
Yeah, and he was dying. He got stabbed in the chest, and he's fighting, and this guy, if you've not seen the George Harrison documentary, dear listener, I thoroughly recommend it.
And when he was being carried out, he said to the member of staff who just started that day, "How do you think the job's going?"
That's a great line. But saved by Olivia, his wife, who picked up a big statue or something and smacked the guy over the back of the head.
A big candlestick or something? She said that she remembered her baseball training.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible story.
She did a really good job of it. You know, she did a good job on him.
I say, again, I don't mean this to make light. Right, I don't mean this to make light. The Beatles were a very special band in that people imbued in them a lot more importance than they probably actually had, right? Which is why John Lennon got shot, because Mark Chapman felt he was a significantly more important figure than he probably possibly was, and that he was a traitor and he betrayed his, whatever. And also Mark
all that stuff.
And the fact that this guy broke into George Harrison's mansion, not to rob him, to kill him, with the intention to kill him. And I wonder, and I don't say this flippantly, and I don't say this to make light, I wonder why there's never been a serious attempt on McCartney. And again, it sounds like a really horrible, I'm not throwing it out as a lightweight, give me a call now. Not at all. It's a horrific thing.
Yeah, if you were going to do it, how would you...
Well, how would you kill that? But the fact that Lennon... And McCartney famously gets the tube and gets the bus. And I know loads of people who've seen him strolling around Soho. And I just wonder... I think a lot of that mystique, actually, around them being almost spiritual... figures is it has gone, but I just wonder why that he's never been targeted in that way.
Is it because he kind of withdrew, at the height of all that stuff?
Possibly. I don't know.
He did go to his farm in Scotland, and he was pretty hard to get to, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, when it happened, Bowie sort of left to Switzerland. He just left America completely. He was living in America, and is that always that thing that he was the other person on the list, wasn't he? Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, and he went, and there were 3 empty seats at the Elephant Man on the night after Lennon died, and 2 of them were John and Yoko, and 1 was Mark Chapman. which always.
I went to college for a semester at my college. One of Mark Chapman's cousins came on my college. He came to my college, Casey Chapman, and was, if I remember this correctly, was kind of proud of Mark.
Yeah,
I did a great put down of him once at a stand-up gig. Casey Chapman, Mark Chapman's cousin. He was singing, or maybe I was heckling. Either I was comparing and he did something. No, I was. Anyway, I think I was comparing. And Casey Chapman started singing a Beatles song quite badly.
Really?
And I said, mate, listen, your family's already murdered one of the Beatles. Don't you start murdering them now. And it was a great line. It was a great line. And
well, there's that Jasper Carrot line, isn't there? When he's on an American talk show, and he says, you gave us Elvis, Sinatra, and we took him to our hearts. We gave you John Lennon, and you shot him.
Oh wow! Well, of course, is it Jasper Carrot? The line about John Lennon famously said,
"No, this was debunked recently." Apparently.
So it wasn't Jasper Carrot. So it's not. The line is John Lennon famously said, "Ringo Starr, best drummer in the world. He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles." But
they've got it back to a radioactive show from a radio show, Angus Deaton. I think it's Angus Deaton who wrote that, because whenever he mentioned Ringo and Have I Got News for You, he'd always do that line, virtually. And once Paul Merton picked him up on it and said, have you listened to Rain? Have you listened to, So I think it's Angus Deaton, or at least that team that wrote that. But yeah, recently Mark Lewison, I think, tweeted it, said that it's in a radioactive script from before when Jasper Carrot said he did it. So
wow. Did you hear the interview Bob Mills did with Angus Deaton the other day?
No, I missed that.
It was weird.
But he is a rather strange.
It was uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as the last hour of this rubbish, but it was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Talking of which, I know we're not mates, but if you ever need to talk about this stuff, then
I thought you was going to ask for a fiver. Then I know we're not mates.
Well, I was going to ask one of your pictures, but there's because I phoned in recently about what happened to me.
Yeah, you've been.
I know that doesn't help. but I sort of understand the images that.
Thank you, mate.
And stuff, because it happens in extremis, these things, doesn't it? It's a bit like having a panic attack. Everything's really heightened, and because it happens in extremis, the memories and everything are really intense. So, I'm not going to give you any advice because I'm the last person to give advice. But
exactly.
Keep on keeping on. There's no, you've heard all the stuff, and I come to things you do, and I support what you and Kath do because I support people who do stuff rather than just sit there and criticise what other people do.
Thank you. You're a good man, Dave.
No, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to... we've got Paul Ross coming in at 1. We've got to go to Roger. Good evening, Roger.
Hello, Ian. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Roger.
You put a downer on it now, all that serious talk about nobody's had a proper pop at McCartney, because I was going to suggest McCartney.
What, for a fight?
Yeah.
Well, you can still fight McCartney. You reckon you could beat him?
He's old. Of course I could beat him.
He's old. Man, Jackie Chan's old. He could still kick your ass.
Well, he's not Jackie Chan, is he? He's Paul McCartney.
The thing is, right, he's got... the bass he plays, that little Hofner violin bass, right? That is easy, just to whip it off over your shoulder and just smack someone around the head. And that is it's thin wood, but it's strong wood. If he's battering you with his Hofner violin bass... You're going down, man. You've got to be quick.
Not if I'm wearing a suit of armour of meat. He wouldn't go near me.
Oh,
I'd be running around chasing him.
Well, OK, you've contradicted yourself. You wouldn't be running around if you're wearing a suit of armour. And what is this meat? Is it like a Lady Gaga meat suit, or is it just a leg of lamb?
Leg of lamb.
I bet he loves a bit of meat on the sly. I bet he loves a bit of meat.
Yeah, I know you get a lot of vegetarians saying that the vegetarians and vegans saying they miss stuff like bacon and stuff like that. So
yeah.
No.
I was talking to my boys about my youngest became a vegetarian the other day for 25 minutes, and then we went to get some food and he ordered a burger and I said, "Well, hang on a minute, I thought you were a vegetarian." "Oh yeah, not anymore." But we were talking about, it's the first time I've had a conversation with them. They don't remember me being a vegetarian, and we kind of talked about vegetarians and what it means and vegans, and I said, well, I didn't eat meat for 27 years and I only started when you were quite young, and it can't, you could just see it, they've always known where meat comes from, right? You point to a sheep and they know that at some point will become dinner, but it was the first time that something kind of just fizzed in their brain where it was actually they had a bit more of an emotional connection with it, and they're not vegetarians at the moment, but I could see them becoming vegetarians at some point.
I like meat too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I like meat too much. It's awful.
It's awful. Is he doing a joke there? Did he say it's awful? You're doing jokes?
Ollie's always having a go at me and trying to make me vegan.
Vegan I would struggle with, but I'm thinking I might become vegetarian again at some point. I feel I need to do something.
The vegan sausage rolls, though, they are really nice.
You love them, don't you?
They're really nice.
But I eat vegan food. I'm not, if you're a meat eater, you're allowed to eat vegan and vegetarian food, which was the thing that would always piss vegetarians off. When I was one, you'd go to a party and there'd be like a small little table of vegetarian food and a big table of meat food, and the meat eaters would come and eat the vegetarian food, and you go, no, that's not fair. There's less for us. But that's the way it goes.
I've never been a huge meat eater, but I don't think I could give it up either.
Paul Ross is here.
What a lovely caller.
What a nice caller.
Lovely fella Peter was. It reminds me of years and years ago, one of my uncles who had problems, issues, in and out of prison, drug dependency, alcohol, died way too young. He had a song that he would play to himself when he felt very low, and it was always the Walker Brothers' "Make It Easy on Yourself."
Oh.
Which is kind of what Peter was saying. Cut yourself some slack.
Good song, that.
Anyway, on the show tonight,
yes, sir.
A couple of fantastic stories from the sea. One is a great good news story. Started tragically. There's effectively a prison for whales off the shore, off the coast of the Pacific coast of Russia, near Japan.
Wow.
And they've been gathering whales to sell to China's hideous kind of sea life centres. There's been a massive campaign. We've covered it on the show. Now those whales are to be liberated, and we've got somebody from the International Wildlife Fund. So that's a great news story.
Hey, that's good.
That is a good news story. There's also a scary story on the programme today, which I'm really keen to find out about. Apparently there are 4-metre long deadly snakes 800 feet below the surface of the ocean, right? And we're going to be speaking to the woman.
Why are you telling me this? This is horrible.
We're going to be talking to the woman, though, who's seen them and think, no, they can't hurt us. They're 800 feet below sea level.
But they might.
But they thought they're extinct. They're not going to evolve, sadly, in our lifetime. They're not going to evolve before your back.
Have you never seen them, Meg? These things can happen.
We did have the four-legged whale prehistoric story last week on the show. Because whales, I didn't realise, mammals evolved on land.
Yeah.
So, of course, when you think about it, it's common sense. Whales and dolphins, at one stage, walked into the sea and stayed there.
Wow.
And these whales they'd found, they were mainly land-dwelling, went into the sea, could stay underwater about 40 hours, I think, and they had hooves. What a world we live on, what a planet we live on. I'm not making this stuff up.
No, you're not. That's
all that, and brace yourself, Josh Roman is on fire tonight. Bit of celeb news.
This is Talk Radio. Paul Ross is coming up next. Thank you very much, Tata.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.